So the title of the video is 5 club challenge with a difference. What's the difference? Well, it's in the clubs, obviously. We can see here that these clubs are very different from different times, but the main difference is a little bit unusual. If I just bring these down a little bit more, you might be able to make a guess, particularly if you watch the most recent 2 videos I did. And the difference is the shaft material. Going from left to right, we have a graphite shaft, an aluminium shaft, a fibreglass shaft, a hickory shaft and a steel shaft. So I'm going to have a quick look at each club, then we'll get straight out on the course and try and play half a dozen holes with them. So the oldest club is obviously going to be the hickory club, and you can see that this is a niblick on the back, it says there, which is the equivalent to a wedge. It was the most lofted club of the time, but if you look at the sole, you can also see another feature of clubs from this period, that they have a very thin sole. There's no bounce or anything on that. Quite a large face on it, dot face, and the loft on it I think is about 50 degrees, something like that. So that's the oldest club, probably 1930s, that one, made in Scotland. Look at the next club, and if we're going in date order, it will be this one, which has actually got an original leather head cover. I'll pop that off and we'll have a look at it. There we go. It's an aluminium headed club, so it's a good job the head cover is on it, because these often get a lot of ding marks and knocks on them when other clubs are thrown into the bag, but the head cover has protected this one very well. And we can see the model there. It's a Silver Swan by John Letters of Scotland. Nice big sight line on there. It's a mallet putter. Got a bit of a lead weight in there as well to give the head a bit more weight. Nice ferrule on it. The shaft is a John Letters Master Model series, and it's a True Temper Profit regular flex. So this would have been produced in the 1960s, the club. If we have a look at the grip, this is quite unusual. I've never seen a grip like this before. It looks as though it was put on with a sort of a plastic or something like that, which was in a molten state, and then as the grip was put on, it was tightened over it, and the plastic has oozed out of the holes in the grip and given it this pimpled effect. The pimples have been knocked off in a lot of places. It looks as though it was deliberate. I can't imagine it would have been left on if it hadn't been deliberate. It is the original John Letters grip, as we can see there. A very unusual feature of the club. So that's the second oldest club, and as I say, that one's probably 1960s. Next up we have this one, which was featured in the previous video that I made. It's a Carnoustie Golf Phase 1 fiberglass shafted club. I forgot to say the previous club, the putter, was the steel shafted club. So we've already looked at this one in the previous video. It's a fiberglass shaft, 8 iron, 41 degrees of loft. Date wise on this one, it's probably about 1967, 68, somewhere around there. The next club is this one, which again I've featured in very recently in the video on aluminium shafted clubs. This is an aluminium shafted Craigton Craig Royal 5 iron with a loft of 30 degrees. There's the shaft label on this one. True Temper aluminium rocket shaft. Produced, I would guess, about 69 or 70, something like that. Leather grip, very nice condition. It's seen very little play, this one, actually. If we look at the sole, we can see there's very little wear on the sole. So that's the aluminium shaft. So we've done steel, hickory, fiberglass, aluminium. Just leaves us with graphite. I don't have many graphite shafted clubs. Graphite appeared around the end of the 1960s, probably 1970, when it started to actually become available in golf clubs. Originally it was a very expensive material, so it wasn't until later that we started to see it. This club is a driver, obviously. It's a graphite shaft. It's just a plain shaft. There's no writing on it, so who made it? I've no idea. What flex it is, I've no idea again. It feels somewhere between a regular to a stiff flex on it. We've got what's called an iomatic insert, red, white, red, 6-screw face, and the club itself has got no markings on the top, but if we look on the sole, quite a famous maker, and that is Peter Broadbent, who was a bespoke wood maker. He was originally he was a professional in the 1970s, but he started to make woods in the 1980s, I think it was. If we look at the bottom, we've got a few more clues as to the date. It says K94 limited edition, and it's number 2 of 10. Now, all of Peter Broadbent's early woods were produced bespoke pretty much, so you ordered the clubs and you were sold them made to your specification. But this one is obviously a limited edition, so 10 clubs were made in this style, and the K designation, the letters refer to the year of manufacture, I'm told. A being the first and L is the latest I've seen, and that will take us up to the early 1990s, I believe, after which time the demand for persimmon clubs had absolutely evaporated, and that's probably why Peter Broadbent stopped making them at that time. So that's the 5 clubs with a difference for the 5 club challenge that I'm going to play. Let's get off to the course then. But before that, here's a quick recap of the clubs along with their lofts. Quite a good spread looking at them. This is my first recording since I acquired the microphones for on-course recording. As usual, I arrived in a rush, so I've not had time to fit them. This first shot is a 5-iron, a little bit too much club really for this shot, so I need to take a little bit off it. Well, I didn't take enough off the 5-iron, so I've run through the green, as you can see. But here, putting for a birdie. Pretty good effort. Just repair my pitch mark from my tee shot. And tidy up that tapping. All net birdie in the wind. Now let's get that microphone fitted. Right, first shot with the mic. I've got the Peter Thompson graphite shafted 1 wood. Never gone too well with this club. Don't want to jinx it. Good hit, just missed the bunker I think. Peter Broadbent, of course it is, not Peter Thompson. With only 5 clubs, I'm a bit limited in the options. So I'm going 5-iron, aluminium shafted, Creighton. Got lucky again, I think, just missed the bunker. That 5-iron went 151, not bad considering the stance. I've got 152 left, so theoretically the same swing, but I think I do need to take a tiny bit off it because it's a front flag. Aluminium shafted, Creighton again. A little bit right, but should be okay. Yep, front fringe. Chip or putt. Of course I'm putting. Very pleased with that. And that's a par. Don't get those very often on this hole. Roll on the 5 club challenge. We're playing off the white tees today, so 4 to 8, a little bit into the wind. Peter Townsend again, graphite shaft. A little bit of a weak fade, but it's safe. Well, that weak fade drive into the breeze only went 182. It's left me 243 to go. 5-iron again, aluminium shaft. Slightly dodgy lie. Just try and get a good contact. As much as I was hoping for, that was. Right, I left myself 114 yards, which into this wind is probably the right distance for the 8-iron going on the yardages I got down the range. Oh, I was very surprised how short this club was going, and I did wonder, I said the face had been polished, whether the ball was skidding on the face and not getting enough backspin. So I've roughed up the face a little bit, see if it does anything. Just going for the middle of the green, hopefully. Fibreglass shaft. It felt good. I think I actually got any yardage on the green. Oh, I say on the green, it's actually only on the front of the green, so it didn't go 110 yards barely. Which I can't understand why it's not getting the distance. Poor Mr. Half the hole. Ooh, just broke away. Well, that's a 3-putt-6. Very disappointing. Okay, all square after losing that hole. Peter Broadbent, graphite shaft. Oh dear. Now that was not good. Bottom groove, that was. Always looking for the positives. If there is a positive to be taken after that terrible drive, it means I've got 223 yards left. So if I hit this 5-iron okay, I shouldn't leave myself in range for the hickory shafted club. Oh no, I caught that well. Yep, that should set me up for a hickory shot. Well, that 5-iron went 155 yards, is that right? It's left me 68 yards, and I've got the hickory shafted niblick. This is a very light swing weight, about C8 I think. It's a long shaft. I'd like to go down the shaft a bit, and that makes it feel even lighter. It's a bit skinny, that. It's back of the green, in play. Right, I've left myself a long one here, but I've got a shot, so 2 putts for the half. Don't look too bad. Steady. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Yeah, 5 net 4. That's a half. Right, we've got a bit of drizzle coming in now, which is the last thing I wanted. I've got 130 yards, back flag. No way I'm getting the 8-iron there, so it's got to be the 5 again. Into the breeze. So just down the shaft a tiny bit, and not quite a full swing. Hopefully, will get me there. It's right on line. Just hope the yardage is good. Oh, it's very good. Probably got about 7 or 8 feet. Well, I'm incredibly happy with that shot. Controlled it to perfection. I'm inside 6 feet. 2 putts for the win. Birdie would be nice, but I don't actually need it in terms of the match. Ooh, I think I just pushed it a fraction. But that's a 3 net 2. That's a win. So I'm 1 up in the match again. with one hole to play. I can't lose. This could be another of those videos saying how unnecessary it is to be custom fit. Right, going again with the Peter Broadbent graphite shaft. See if I can hit a straight one. A bit of draw would be nice. It's a straight one, just a touch of fade, but a nice shot. Measure that one. Right, I did connect well with that. 229 yards. Leaves me 113. About right for the graphite shaft, I think. On the green. I think the match is mine. Well, that was a cracking 8-iron with the old fibreglass. The only downside is I only hit the hickory shaft once. Still, beggars can't be choosers. I've got this for a birdie. 3 putts for the win. Being a shot up and a shot hole here. Oh. That's a 4 net 3. I win the hole. I win the match 2 up. And that concludes the 5 club challenge, or should I say the 5 shaft challenge. I have to say it went better than I was expecting. This was, after all, another very thorough study, and is yet further proof that for the average club golfer, fitting is a waste of time and money. There are far more variables going on that affect the score in a typical round of golf than a slightly stiffer flex shaft or a slightly lighter swing weight. What about the clubs though? Previously I've not got on with the graphite shafted Peter Broadbent driver, but today it was mostly well behaved. The aluminium shafted 5-iron performed very well and saw a lot of use due to the way the holes ran. The fibreglass shafted Carnoustie 8-iron was 10 or 15 yards down on what I felt it should be with the loft it had, exactly as it was during the range testing. Perhaps fibreglass shafts just don't cut the mustard. I only hit 1 shot with the hickory shafted niblick, which was a pity, but it was the only called for once over the 6 holes. The steel shafted putter was fine. I'm not a fan of aluminium headed putters, but apart from the 3rd hole where I left my first putt woefully short, I was happy with how it went. Finally, we'll look at the statistics. I won the 6-hole match 2 up, and I played 2 under my handicap, which I'm very happy with considering the variety of clubs that I had. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!